Hello, welcome to the third episode of Into the Torii Gate, the Thomasian Nihon Kyoukai podcast. My name is OJ from Marketing Management.
And I am Charles from Behavioral Science.
And I'm Via, also from Behavioral Science.
And today, in today's podcast, we'll be having a guest over. So, this guest is our VP of Internals, and he also resides in Japan right now. So, let's give a hand for Hendrick Gliocam. Let's go!
Damn. Hi. I feel like Spider-Man from Spider-Man 1.
Let's go. All right.
Feels good. Feels good. Thank you. Thank you for having me, guys.
All right. So, first things first, Hendrick. Can you tell us a bit of information about yourself?
Ooh, well, I have been in TNK for quite a while in my school years here in UST. I've been a member for about 3 years now, from a member to an executive board member. And I've always had a keen thing for about photography and media stuff, so that's why I'm in communications. And yeah, unfortunately, no photography stuff during the pandemic, so I moved myself towards online adventures such as streaming and shoutcasting. So yeah, pretty fun.
Streaming and shoutcasting, huh? That's actually great.
So much fun. So much fun.
So speaking of photography, have you ever even though you didn't take much, have you actually taken photos in Japan though?
I did. I really did take a lot of photos. I mean, I did, a lot of photos about like anime. I don't know if you guys saw my Facebook one about like comparison photos on like Facebook of like anime scenes from like Makoto Shinkai movies. I love that. I've taken pictures of food before I eat them up. It's so fun, it's just like stuff like that. Everyone loves a good Instagram post, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's actually true.
Speaking of food, that is actually the topic of our episode today.
Nice.
What? Like what?
Wait,
Dude,
actually-
what?
that's actually
What a great
What a
coincidence.
clean transition.
Wow,
No way.
it doesn't
Yeah,
sound
it's
planned at
coincidence.
all.
But,
It's
but
like,
actually,
whoa.
that's actually kind of cool because the time right now it's like a few hours for dinner, so it's a good setup for like our hunger actually. So
Yeah, make ourselves hungry.
all right, so what do we talk about this Japanese food, OJ? Is it Japanese food or food in general?
Let's see. So actually, we'll actually be making a comparison with food in the Philippines, comparing it to food in Japan. So right now, like what we want to talk about specifically first is street food. We're going immediately for the street food because I don't think anyone's eaten street food in a while. Have you guys?
Yeah, matagal nang di lumalabas, so like...
Nah.
I have eaten, but it's not literally like the kind of like street food and the ones that we see on the streets. I mean, it's still pretty side of the street, but we are inside a village, so it's not like the one that are exposed really to the streets and the vehicles. It's more like exposed since not exposure, but since it's still beside the street, it's still kind of can count as street food, right? I mean,
Yeah.
right?
Get yourself the vitamin D. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
come on. Even the bacteria is a vitamins at some point. You need those germs, buddy. You need those germs.
Germs.
We need those germs. Gotta get strong.
Yes.
Love it.
All right, so what's about this street food?
So
What
yeah,
do you know about street food?
you got any particular favorite ones there though? Like any?
Like in Japan or like in the Philippines?
Like, we go for both because you're formerly from both.
Formerly
We're
from both.
yeah.
Well, currently I'm in one of them, but thing with like Japanese food though, you don't
Yeah.
really get them much on the street. anymore as much as I was in the kid. As much as I was a kid. Like I used to eat them more often back then, but now you usually just see them around like summer festivals and stuff like that. Yeah.
I see.
Oh,
Wait, is it because of the pandemic? That's why there's less street foods, or it's just because time progresses?
No, because it's just like, you know, Japanese people try to keep the streets clean, you know, stuff like that, makes less clutter on the roads. So, you know, you only make tusok apparently when there's, you know, a summer
Event.
festival for you to go through. That's when they put up stalls. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the summer the firework festival where like most
yeah.
commonly in anime where it's like couples do their coupley thingy or like people are confessing their love, their emotions for someone.
cooties. Okay, I think it's. Wait, is that your case in Tokyo? I think in Osaka it's a bit different.
Oh, it is because like in my area, kind of a. What do you say this? I live somewhat in the boonies, you know, it's like sort of like farm areas as much. It's not really much city. I'm close to Tokyo, but I'm not at Tokyo. I'm a province outside of Tokyo.
Alright.
So maybe a 20-minute train ride, I'll get to Tokyo. But here, it's mostly old people in rice fields.
Well,
Welcome
still,
to that. No, I'm not gonna say it.
so, is there any like the food that is really that you love or at least remarkable for you?
It's gotta be takoyaki, man. I don't know, if you're not a takoyaki boy, I don't trust you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
gotta be it.
boy.
Yeah.
You guys, you viewers out there, come on, try
Praise.
out takoyaki, even just once. Come on, we can
It's
recommend you
so
some.
good.
The
Mm.
best.
Right.
Absolute perfection.
True, actually.
Mm.
But my question is actually this. We, of course, I think it's safe to claim that it is in general's knowledge, or it is in general's knowledge that there's also takoyaki here in the Philippines, right?
Mhm, yeah.
So
Yeah.
my question is comparison of the two from the Japanese version, the real Japanese version,
Oh
versus
boy.
this
boy.
I would not say local, but at some point because they are a bit you know, like having a Japanese thing.
Because local is from Japan, so
Yeah,
we
yeah,
call
yeah.
it Filipino takoyaki.
Yeah, so
With the imitation crab.
so yeah, in comparison of those two, what can you say about that?
Okay, I'm about to drop a bomb on you Filipino viewers. I'm so sorry. Takoyaki in the Philippines is not takoyaki. I'm sorry to say that to you, man. It's not the same thing. I mean, there's one important part about takoyaki. It's in the name, taco.
Taco.
It has to have the octopus. The Philippines, it's just the bread, man. It's just yaki. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
just-
It's
and they're actually saying like the bits, but then it's sometimes just the powder flavoring or something.
yeah, it's not. It doesn't do it, man. Like the full experience is having the flakes, the takoyaki, the like octopus inside, the
Yeah.
sauce, the mayo. It's just the whole deal. That's how you're supposed to experience takoyaki.
One of my friends unironically called it kabitsuyaki because it's just cabbage inside.
Kabachiyaki.
How about you, Ate Via? Have you ever tried takoyaki?
Yes. Pero minsan mahal eh. Yes, you have to look for place na di ganun kamahal. Kasi I remember,
Mm.
since si Charles di pa nakakapasok sa USD, OJ, ano mo ba yung sa loob ng USD? May nagbebenta ng takoyaki and
Oh,
Japanese.
yeah.
Medyo bago yun eh.
It was on. It was on the Fountain. I forgot what it called. I forgot what that place was called though.
Oo, yun.
I know.
So,
what you're
mahal
talking-
yung takoyaki. So, mga 80 plus siguro.
Yeah.
Yeah, 80 to 100. So, I don't think it was car park. Nasa
No,
may
it
park
was-
garden siya eh.
No,
Oh,
it
yeah.
was behind Plaza Mayor. I forgot what they called that
Yeah,
specific spot though.
Oh,
Mm.
Yeah, it's the one with the Japanese decor. Like, yeah, it was in the
Oh,
middle.
So
I know what you're talking about.
I'll just imagine the image of the USD because I never. I mean, well, I
Di
have
ba?
not never. I
Feeling
have,
ko naman makakapasok ka din naman this.
They have the they
Yeah,
have like the
true.
the Minecraft map. Like, did you download?
The
no,
Minecraft
No.
map.
unfortunately, no, because I don't have. Remember the time where USD had a what do you call this? Simulation or some sort of the fresher walk via Minecraft.
Yeah. They
I
did.
was not
Yeah,
able
that.
to experience that precisely because I was not able to download the launcher because I was confused or rather not sure if my laptop specs will be able to
To handle
operate
Minecraft.
yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's so
exactly.
sad.
I was not able to experience that, so it's kind of bumming out that I'm still looking forward for a fresher walk, but god man, we are not in the freshie anymore. We're going
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
juniors next year.
Woo, let's go,
All
baby.
right, so
That 2 of my years
yeah,
just
exactly.
at home.
Yeah.
What?
Well,
Having
alright,
an existential
so,
crisis.
Takoyaki. Any other street foods that you find remarkable, or like?
I don't know about like the way Japanese people do their barbecues, but yakitori is also one of my tops. You know, yakitoris. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
there really is a difference in how Filipinos and Japanese people do it, but their sauce is
The
like
sauce.
it's so
Peanut
good.
sauce.
It's like sweet and it's like
So-
oh man, it's fantastic.
I-
I'm getting
There's actually
hungry,
been
man.
like a culture around that. Like, I don't know how they do it without actually making it go bad, but they reuse the sauce over and over again. I think that's apparently how
Oh.
they get it. And then
I
the
didn't know
oils
that.
of the chicken is what like mixes in with the sauce. So it's just a constant loop of like good sauce. Good
I
sauce.
told you
Mm.
guys we need the bacteria. It's a
It's
we need
just the
germs, guys.
bacteria.
Kidding
Oh my
Oh, it's like,
aside.
yeah, imagine mang inasal but on like just boom, like whoa, you know, like
Whoa.
10 times
Yeah.
better
Tenfold.
mang inasal.
Crazy.
Well, the only no, not the only time, but yeah, okay, I'll call it the only time
Yeah.
I was
Hmm.
able to taste yakitori is when we were eating at the Japanese cuisine restaurants.
Okay.
But actually, it's not quite often as well because well, it's Japanese restaurants. It's obviously expensive itself.
Yeah.
When we eat there, I mostly order katsudon, donbori,
Ah, yes.
The-
Of
so
course.
yakitori. But I have tasted once, and to be honest, it's for me. I still prefer some point the barbecue of the Philippines. Not because it's much more not more delicious, but rather it's like the experience of that freshly cooked,
Made. Yeah.
freshly made
Freshly
barbecue,
grilled,
and then you're gonna dip it with a sauce that's been like I
Yeah.
don't know hours exposed to, you know, and then and then when you taste it, when you bite it, and there's like the juices of the oils and the meat.
Oh my
And then there's the
god.
charcoal, and there's a bit of a toast that like
Dude.
that experience where like makes you about drooling.
I'm about to grab my phone and order from Grab, please.
Let's go.
Just make please.
So
I'm gonna-
like in comparison of this yakitori, the yakitori is it's pure meat. Yes, it's a good and it's better in
Yeah.
some ways, but for me, like when you bite it, since it's pure meat, it's like there's what do you call this? There's I don't like to say bland, but at some point it is directed to that at some point. So that's why I prefer the barbecue of the Philippines.
Actually, to comment on that, because I noticed like Filipinos do like this thing, because like we are very accustomed to acidic flavors, so like vinegar, stuff like that. You know, like very sour stuff. I feel like every Filipino just loves sour stuff to death. Like we put it in everything basically, even in like sinigang or something.
yeah, it makes your mouth
Yeah.
water, so it's like
Yeah, like it's like savory, you know.
I feel
But
like it's interesting na yung Filipino food culture gusto nila ng acidic because like
right.
yeah.
Because
It's-
now at least we know acidic is equals to toxic and toxic is equals to their mind.
Oh, whoops. Freudian slip. I'm just kidding.
All right. So, how about you, Ativia? Kuya OJ, Ativia, which do you prefer? Japanese yakitori or Philippines barbecue? Actually, while you think of that, I just realized that barbecue is not necessarily does not necessarily came from the Philippines. It
Yeah, it
originated
doesn't.
from another
It's just
country
like
as
we
well.
have our own versions, like with the
Yeah.
sauce also. Like that's where the sourness comes from
Yeah,
when it comes to
yes.
barbecues. The sauces are so different. So different.
Yes, actually.
You know when you put it that way, I do prefer that. I don't, yeah, because of that same reasoning with the sour and the savory. I
The
do
flavor?
prefer a good Philippine pork barbecue.
Yeah,
Just like-
same actually.
Right?
Bro.
Especially kapag sa party, tas may tray, ng dami-dami, and then just grab as much
Tin
as you-
Just
foil.
you easily grab 5 sticks and that's just the initial, man. You just eat it while you are taking another
The
food from the
tinfoil
buffet table.
experience.
So that
Put it in your head after, like.
I remember in birthday parties we're like well, it's not sometimes it's a barbecue. What do you call this? The trunk of the banana tree where they
Mm.
where they put the where they put the barbecue sticks and they puncture the barbecue the banana tree trunk.
Wait,
Yeah.
Mm.
So it's kind of like a cool idea of like making a kind
you got
similar
that
to a
banana
bouquet.
leaf flavor. You
Banana
smell
leaf.
it. Got that banana
Barbecue
leaf.
banana
smell.
leaf flavor. Let's go.
Yeah, we do like to put a lot of banana in everything, just like ketchup, and that's kind of weird. But you know, all the love to
Wait,
the Philippine
actually,
cuisine.
But Japanese people like putting curry on everything too. So we
That's true. That's true. I don't know why there's like in every single thing. Like every time I go to the convenience store, there's always a curry flavored something.
something.
Like even
yeah.
chips have curry flavored stuff. It's so weird. It's like Japanese people have an obsession with curry and everything, just like how Filipinos like bananas and everything.
Actually, since you have mentioned curry, I actually prefer the Japanese curry in comparison to the Indian. The Filipino one. You know
yeah.
the yellow greenish color of the curry, and then it's like a bit of oily. Where in
Yeah.
in Japanese curry, it's like it's similarly close. It's similar and close to menudo of the Philippines, but it's different. But the color is the same. But you love that, and the meat
Mm.
just flavorful as well.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, like, I feel like that's kind of like the cuisine for like a lot of countries. They take things from other countries and they make
And
it into a version of their own.
Yes.
Yeah, like there's a lot of versions of Filipino foods in different countries also, right? Like they do that in the US and like I think
Yes.
Japan has some, but I've never really experienced that myself. But yeah, there's a lot of countries that do that. So that's kind of interesting.
It's like a culture exchange of some. It's like
Culture.
a culture exchange.
Yeah.
Cultural
globalization.
cross-pollination.
I mean, about your TV, have you what do you call this? Have tasted or eaten some kare? Kare.
Japanese curry.
Japanese curry.
Japanese curry, not yet. I don't know what kind of curry I've tasted because like may iba-ibang klase ng curry, but like when you look at the menu, it's just curry. So you're like,
Yeah.
what kind
It
of
looks
curry
the
am I
same.
eating? At least specify in parentheses or something.
It's
One of
like
these
there's like
days-
3 countries that are prominent. It's besides Japanese, there's Indian and then there's Thai, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think one of these days we should.
Because Thai has the green one, like the green curry, like the
Yeah, I know. I think one of these days we should give Atibia a taste of Japanese curry.
Japanese curry.
The cubes, like the
yeah.
not cubes, blocks.
the block.
And then we should be able to give her some.
I think you could
Oh,
buy those in
thank you,
Philippine
sa palibre.
supermarkets.
Yes, the golden
Yeah.
curry.
They're there.
Sa
Yeah, they're
palibre.
there.
Dude, I love that. I love
But they
that. Oh,
kind of go with almost anything too. Like,
That's true. I mean, I like food that you could put on rice, like that's another
Yeah.
thing Filipinos love doing, putting soup in rice.
Oh
And
yes.
curry is also like one of them. You can just mix it with your rice.
Yes,
Sauce,
so good.
I
sauce.
think I mean, at least from my opinion, the reason why maybe this is just a maybe the reason maybe why Filipinos are mostly putting soups in their food is because it's easier to eat. I mean, okay, there's a rice. The rice is dry. It's not the Japanese rice where it's like, where it's sticky and such. So with the soup, it becomes easier and smooth to like eat it. So
Yeah.
soup.
And also yung flavor.
Diba? Exactly, the flavor as well.
Yeah, I love
Oh.
that so much. I kind of miss
Imagine-
like the soupy foods. I miss those kind of things, man.
Yeah, definitely.
actually, but in general, imagine living without rice. Like, God. Oh my God, no.
Yeah, Asian things.
True,
You're
true.
not truly an Asian if you do not have a rice cooker.
Yeah.
That's so true.
I remember the episode from Uncle Roger where it's like where where he criticized the European way of cooking where they use
I like the
hand-
A
pots.
pod.
the
Yeah.
Oh,
pot.
Yeah,
Hand-
it's so weird. I
But
can
that
never
was-
understand that.
Like
Actually, wait,
why?
you know those
no.
like those pots that they have too. Like the Filipinos have the really like the metallic ones that
And
they
then
used
they
to cook
put-
rice on.
Diba they put salt or something?
Yeah, on the over
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
What is
So
it?
weird.
I used to
Very
have
different.
that without a rice cooker for like a good up until like my first year in college. I haven't used one.
Oh no. You gotta get those rice cookers that make music after they're done. That's when you know you got the good stuff. You know what I'm saying?
The sojirushi, like ringing the elephant. You have to have the elephant. It's important.
That's when you know when you're in a rich Asian household when the rice cooker makes music.
I swear, like someone's gonna make like a patent out of that. They're gonna make like a MP3 player into the
On the rice
cooker.
cooker.
Yeah. Balik tayo sa usapan ng street food kasi parang
Ooh.
ulam na to eh.
Yeah, actually. Diba?
Well, I want to speak of another like Japanese street food. Well, I don't know why this is considered Japanese street food, but I don't know if you guys have ever been to like a Japanese district or like been to Japan itself. There's a lot of like sweet stuff like choco banana and crepes. Have you guys
Yeah.
tried the crepes? The crepe wraps?
Crepe.
The one with like the cream? Yeah, those are really good. And like I think they're supposed to be French as well, but they're very accustomed to Japanese like street food nowadays.
Oh really? Well, actually, the what do they call this? I have not known that the crabs are actually good in Japan since I've never been there. But and I'm actually not totally surprised, but just a little bit surprised that crabs. Crabs are like good things in Japan. All I know is that Japan is good with sweets. Like,
Yes.
they love sweets,
Oh,
right?
yeah, there's a whole candy culture here. I don't know if you guys seen like I think there's a lot in the Philippines as well, but every time even you go to like a supermarket or a like convenience store here, there's a wide selection of like different kinds of candies and gummies. Who knows, they might have a curry flavored gummy. That's
No,
something probably Japan
I'm
would
pretty
do.
sure. I'm pretty sure they do. No, it's too late. They have one. Wait. So, like speaking of like you're in the topic of like crepes and sweet stuff, and like I know they have like a ton of stalls of it around. Just the what do you call it? Just that.
Yeah.
There's also the I remember like, but I think like most Japanese people would just go either there or they just go to a cafe and eat cakes. They have that kind of culture there. I think right now,
like
and I-
cafe stuff, right?
yeah, cafe stuff instead of just go instead of the traditional stuff. Actually wait, they actually do have like some people are into like the red bean stuff too, which is I can never get around that.
Well,
Yeah,
actually-
red bean is
Yeah.
weird for me. I don't know about you guys. What do you thing, V and Charles. Like I don't know
How
about
about you, TV?
red
I
bean.
have experience on red bean. How about you, TV? You go
Anong,
first.
anong red bean na...
Like any red bean.
We have
like
that in-
Mungo.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, something like halo halo. It's in there too.
Yeah, halo-halo and hopya.
Yeah.
Mm,
Japan,
yeah.
Diba, I remember nabasa ko dati, there's two kinds of hopya. One is, iba yung Japanese na hopya sa yung
Yeah.
usually kinakain natin na hopya.
Mm.
It could be
Yeah,
shaped
yeah.
like anything. Usually, it's like a fish. The
Yeah, like a
taiyaki.
fish.
Hopya
I don't know
pala
why
yun.
a
moon.
fish. Or a yeah, that too.
Mooncakes.
All this time, I thought that that was like pang ice cream lang yung ganyan. Yung
It has
yung
ice
parang-
cream in it.
No. Yung parang ice cream na sandwich. Kasi alam ko, may nakita ko
Ah.
dati na ganyan na shape and fish siya. Tapos ice cream sa loob. Oh, sa
Mm.
Korean yun.
Yung sanggopan ba yan?
Ah,
Samahan ko, yes.
I haven't
Mm,
actually
yeah.
tried it though. Basta nakikita ko lang. Yun yung na-associate ko sa yung fish kapag nakikita ko yung fish na snack ng Japanese. Akala ko same lang.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, red beans. Okay, but yeah.
yeah, for
Like,
actually
That's not my
here-
thing though. Yeah. They even have it
Yeah.
in like a can in soups. Like they have the red like
Oh, they
you
do.
drink it out of the like it's so weird.
Oh.
Like you get out the
That's
vending
weird.
machine, then you can just have
Oh yeah,
some
I
red-
know what you're talking about. Yeah, they're
Yeah, I feel
warm
like-
also.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I feel like
that's
I
the
know what
weirdest
you're
part.
talking about.
Yeah.
Wait.
Here's the thing though. I mean, they also what do you call this? They mix the red bean in the milk tea, and you know what? In cha time, I don't know if you know that.
Yeah.
Do you guys know cha time?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Cha time sponsor baka naman, di joke.
Baka
So
daw.
yeah, so cha time, they have this red bean milk tea, and that is the milk tea where my mother often orders because she loves that milk tea.
Oh man, I've never tried that before. Maybe I should when I get
Actually, I
back.
tasted
Red
it.
beans. No, I'm sorry.
You know what I
Well-
did? You know what I do when I taste it? I mean, okay, red bean is fine for me, but then
I can't get around that flavor. It's so unique.
Yeah,
I get-
it's like pasty, you know. So
Yeah.
Mm.
It's kind of like how I feel about natto too. Actually, like
the what?
yeah,
The what?
it's natto. Have you guys
Yeah,
tried natto?
natto.
No, actually, that's the first I heard. I heard that.
It's-
What is
Uh,
it?
Fermented beans.
soybeans.
Yeah, soybeans. It's
Ah.
it's very bitter. Well, it's very acquired taste. I'll
Acquired
tell you
taste,
that.
yeah.
It's like
It's like you're eating soy sauce, but at the same time, like
it's solid.
peas, solid.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird.
It's
And
very
sticky,
weird.
And I can't get.
Mm.
And they have it with mustard too. Like, what is
Yeah, Japanese food has a very acquired taste thing. Like, cause like as a Filipino, like tasting like Japanese food for the first time when I was a kid, I was not a fan, like at all. Cause you know in the Philippines it's always salty, sour, or
Sweet, yeah.
sweet.
Yeah,
Those
I
are
got
like the
that.
big three flavors in the Philippines. But like getting bitter, stuff like that, because that's usually accustomed to like burning something, right? That's like the flavor first. But then like
or
you have
forcing
it
your
as a
kids to
food.
eat ampalaya, like.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, but then
Ano-
that's
ano
like an
lasa
normal.
nun?
It's like weird.
Anong lasa ng natto?
It's very bitter, and then like it's like sticky. It's very sticky. The texture is not a good mix to the flavor sometimes, but there are some good nattos where like the texture feels really good with the bitterness. That's kind of like yeah. It's also very slimy.
Yes,
Someone
slimy,
said there in
yeah.
the chat. Yeah, like it's very slimy, very unique.
slimy.
Ugh.
Sobrang sarap.
I mean, to be honest, I guess one of the major reasons why I don't know that food is because I am not really interested or much fond of beans.
Mm,
I mean, beans are okay.
Nobody's
they're
a fan of
I'm not really
beans.
fan of
Not a
beans.
fan of beans.
Peanuts,
What's wrong
yes.
with you?
I mean, peanuts, yes. Peanuts, yes, I do love that. Kasoy nuts, but not necessarily that kind of beans. And Actually, I do have a friend, a Japanese national friend who stays here currently in the Philippines as well. I think it's just like Kyoukai and Hendrick. So yeah, she loves sweet very much. She's like a sweet. She has like a sweet tooth, and she what do you call this? Pictures the cakes. She makes her own ice cream actually.
Oh wow!
And she just really loves sweets, and I was like, yo, I'm not really much grown into sweets because we have a line of diabetic history. So we are not really much into
sweetness stuff.
Stuff because we are keeping those levels, the diabetic levels,
blood sugars,
Give me that blood sugar low, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, keep the blood sugar, baby. So
speaking of sweetness though, like I feel like there's this really strange like Filipino street food that I feel like every Filipino has experienced as a kid. Have you guys tried hot dog and marshmallows?
Yes.
On a stick.
Certified hood classic. Oh, sorry. Certified barangay classics.
birthday party classic.
Of course.
You know what, guys? I leave the marshmallow alone. I just eat the hot dogs.
Yeah.
Same.
Actually, no, I ate it first. Actually, and then I eat the hot dog.
Hindi ako mahilig sa sweet food din eh. Kasi health conscious din yung family ko. Although we don't have like Charles said, yung diabetes. We don't really have that problem. Pero health conscious. So like,
of course.
di rin ako mahilig sa candy or sa marshmallow. I think, basta yung pagtingin ko sa marshmallow, it looks weird. And when I smell it, it's even weirder for me. So I've never actually eaten marshmallows before.
Wow, that's interesting.
The only marshmallow I eat is the one that they put in scramble. yung malilit.
Oh.
Yeah.
They're not really squashy, but they're chummy enough. Yeah, the mini mallows. And I'd like to give mallows a try one more. Pero this time I wanted it to be like coated in chocolate. Tas magsasolidify yung chocolate. How about in Japan? Do you have those kind of
like marshmallows? There's not really
s'mores.
much. S'mores, yeah. That's actually there's a lot of those in the Philippines also.
Actually,
I love those.
It's been years since I last ate s'mores, and it was
Wait,
baked by my
wait.
classmate.
I all of a sudden remember like Japanese people have like that. Like there's like this brand of s'mores. Like that's like a pre-packed s'more.
Yeah. Doesn't the Philippines have that too? Do you guys not
No,
have
we
that?
I mean, the closest we got is like a choco pie.
Choco pie. That's the closest thing to a s'more you guys got. Oh man, I kind of miss like Filipino snacks and stuff. That's also like one thing I miss a lot. Like you don't get nagarayas here. Those are so good, man. And I kind of miss those.
Nagaraya, is that just like a Japanese name?
Yeah, but they don't have them here. I don't know why. I'm sad.
But actually,
Wait, that's kind of ironic.
Yeah, it
actually,
is.
it's ironic.
It's like if we were on Twitter, they would say like, "OMG, cultural appropriation."
But at the same time, I see this article. I don't know if I will be able to call it a shop, pero I was able to scroll in FB like they're shipping nationwide like Japanese snacks only available in Japan.
Ooh.
But then I keep seeing comments na it's been like 3-4 months late. So, so I didn't attempt it to buy, but it's actually interesting to have that concept, like since it's only very exclusive in your country, you're going to advertise it to another country and try to ship it out, right?
Yeah, those are really nice because like you get the experience, like how do you say this? Like even just like the small foods that people eat, maybe like the nuts with different flavors. It's always nice to experience something like that. That's kind of like like I really love just like I want to do this in the future, but I just want to buy snacks from all around the world and see what their like taste palettes are, because you could already tell what kind of flavors they like through like the simple snacks that they like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
Right.
Thinking about it, it's actually kind of interesting. No, Kuya AJ. Like,
Mm.
interesting how Japanese are like very focused, or rather interested in sweets, and Filipinos in sour stuff and sweet
Yeah.
stuff as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of like I like switching in between like the flavors because sometimes here in the in Japan,
Yeah.
like once we miss the Philippines, we tend to cook like Filipino food. So
That's
like I
nice,
made
that's nice.
sisig recently. It's not as
Ooh.
good as like USD sisig, that's for sure. Like Mangfoots cannot like fight against mine because I'll probably get beaten down with his like flavors. But man, do I love like just how they're made is so different, you know? Like even the process of making it is the special part about like Filipino food. Don't you think that? Because like I don't know, like sisig is such a Filipino thing.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
know why? You know
I
why?
just love stuff like that.
Because Filipinos has a bit of dirtiness in the process. So that's why it's supposed to be yummier. Come on.
Let's not call it
Let's-
dirtiness.
dirtiness.
Let's
We'll
call
call
it
Healthy
Culture.
bacteria.
no, not healthy.
Culture.
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 Yeah,
You sprinkle a
or
little bit
maybe-
of culture in there.
or maybe homey blissfulness.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's funny how you call it homemade blissfulness.
Blissfulness.
It's kind of
That's-
fun. Pero, ayun, I was actually quite wondering about, like, as I mentioned, Japanese for sweets, Filipinos for sour. Is it because? Do you think it's because of the availability of ingredients around the country? I mean, or
Oh, like in Japan?
yeah, I mean, Japanese. I mean, I'm wondering why Japan has taken very interest in sweets. I'm not saying that they're the only
Mm.
country taking interest in that, but I'm just actually curious and wondering about why or how are they being,
I think it's like like how they move a lot, like trains, stuff like that, like going to school or going to your work or something. It's nice to have something in your pocket that you just pop in. I like in your mouth, like maybe like a gum or a sweet, like something like that. I feel like it's just like part of like the moving city of like Japan and how it is like constantly moving and stuff like that. So I think it's always nice to have like maybe like a piece of gum in your pocket. I think that's why like
Mhm.
sweets are such a thing in Japan. I'm not so sure necessarily. Don't take it from me. I'm not the
I know there's,
Japan
like-
expert. I just live
yeah.
here.
And there's also like I remember like a Filipino grocery store there too, and they sell it at like
Mm.
really high prices, like sort of high.
Mm.
Like for example, people want pancit canton because they kind of miss it, and then they go to that store.
Yes. And speaking of ingredients though, like cooking like Filipino stuff in Japan is so hard. Like finding specific ingredients. Like I made like sisig recently, right? I couldn't find a single supermarket with green chili. Like not even red chili
no.
was so hard to find. Like it was so difficult. Like I had to go like so long around my town just looking for chili. And the only
5
thing I
million
could
per
find
kilo.
was like a 200 peso pack, like 100 grams of chili. I can even buy like 3 pieces that I needed.
Yo, OJ, now we know what we're going to sell in Japan once we get there.
Chili
Labuyo.
farm.
Yung labuyo,
versus-
exactly. And hindi lang siya
Labuyo
isang plastic or isang pack. We're going to buy yung kasya sa maleta. Sa maleta na puro laman lang ay sili.
Just smuggled chili in.
Yeah, we
Like the whole bag.
we ought to get that stonks money.
You can sell it for a good price in Japan.
Actually, yeah. I
Caught me
have
off
another
guard.
question.
Doggo.
Oh, doggo attack. Oh, show me
Yeah,
that
so
doggo.
cute.
Got doggo.
Come on, show me that.
Scared me. Wait. Okay. Anyway. Sorry.
So yeah, I was I want to know, kaya Hendrick, have you tasted the Philippines version of Japanese cake? And do you have a Japanese cake in Japan, despite it having a Japanese in its name? It's
Like,
it
do you
will
know-
be very ironic for that snack to not be existent in Japan.
I mean, I'm not one for sweets. I don't think I've had the Japanese version, which is weird since it's in the name. But in the Philippines, you're supposed to get it around USD,
Yeah.
dude.
So it's
That
like
I-
was fire.
It's
No,
like a morning.
on that topic, I
parang
think
nagaraya.
yeah,
Yeah.
Exactly.
like nagar, Japanese cake and nagaraya are non-existent in Japan.
Why?
So, yeah,
Don't worry,
as you were
wait,
saying.
don't worry, I got you. Wait, when I get there, how many packs you want? I got you.
you just
I got
like
you.
you just like keep it under the
Uh,
lining of your bag.
Yeah.
You're bringing a shipment of
Actually, speaking of that act,
smuggled nagaraya into
I
Japan.
watch or a little bit follow Joshua Salom on YouTube.
Oh
Hmm.
yeah,
He's a Filipino.
Unfamiliar.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
Filipino who vlogs what it's like in Japanese classrooms and the life.
Oh, okay, that guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know
yeah.
him. I know him.
So there was this point where like after the summer break, I think he came back from the Philippines. He came back. He went back to Japan, and then he brought pancit canton and
Oh,
gave
yeah.
it to his friends. And like I think there's a bit of piatas as well in there. So
Oh my god.
right, it's at some point it's just smuggling, pero diba, it's interesting na katulad nga nun, you are influencing at some point, like you giving it
Mm.
that
Yeah.
like exclusively existent on your own country onto the another country with different snacks, cuisine, culture and such. It's good to like bridge those two things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally agree. I would trade months of my life to experience pancit canton once again, like the first time. I would like with egg, bruh.
bruh.
It's a
Ah.
winner.
It's winner, dude. That would be my deathbed food. Pancit canton
Yeah,
and
right.
egg.
My final meal, my last meal.
Oh no, not last meal. Well, what do you call this?
I'm,
Yeah, go Ativia. What will you
diba nabanggit yung scramble kanina? So I wanted to ask if there's something like scrambles in Japan.
Good question actually.
Like scrambled eggs.
No.
yung
No, no,
scramble na, yung
I scramble. I
Oh,
scramble, dude.
yung ice
No,
scramble.
just the scramble.
Ah,
snack.
ice scramble. Yes.
yung pink.
Yeah. Like the ones where you put like syrup. Is that the one?
Yeah.
Yung,
Wait, syrup?
Shaved ice. You got shaved ice.
Shaved ice. Yes. That's.
Yeah, okay.
yung may
I forgot what it's
marshmallow.
called. I think it's
Kakigori.
called kakigori. Yeah. Kakigori. Yeah, I love that. You don't usually see those around though. They really are just like a summer
Summer.
festival thing.
Yeah, summer
also,
fest-
like, I think if you guys have been to like a Filipino like what you call this like sports festival, they have those also. You know, they always have those on the side. Dude, I love that. And like when you mix the colors and it looks pretty, but then it tastes weird because it's different flavors.
Yeah,
You know?
I think
strawberry, raspberry.
I think-
Like what the?
I think scramble is different from ice shave snack.
Mm.
Because ice shave, yeah, there's just ice shave, and then you put as you are telling us a while ago, like putting the flavor syrup.
Mm.
Yeah, so that's what the ice shave is. But scramble on the other side, well, it's very similar. It's still not. I won't consider it as ice shave, although it's used as shaved ice,
Mm.
precisely because it uses powder instead of syrup at some point, and then
Mm.
mixed with sprinkles, mallows, chocolate syrup, or strawberry syrup.
I think it's got the milk powder. Is it?
Yeah, the
is it-
milk
Oh
powder.
yeah. I know
Yeah,
those. I know
it's
those.
The mic mic.
yeah.
The
Like,
mic-
actually, do you have like that in Japan? The mic. Yeah.
Ah yes, I do remember these. We don't have these in Japan, like powdered sugar. I don't know. Maybe just I haven't been around Japanese snacks, but I've had these before, but not in Japan.
Hmm. Oh, so a question suddenly pops up. Do you guys have what do you call this? A limit? No, not limitation. What do restriction foods for kids and for adults?
Oh, like in Japan?
Yeah. Do you have
Well,
something like
there are a lot of laws when it comes to food here in Japan. I know you're not allowed to sell stuff with heavy preservatives, so stuff expires here pretty quick. Like,
Ooh.
yeah, like in Japan, like if you go to a convenience store, if you buy like a snack or like a sandwich or something, they expire in like 2 days or like 3 days, something like that. Like you have to eat it around like the first half of that week. Because like I think it's like a health thing in Japan, but the thing is with that, like it kind of ends up disposing a lot of food. You know, you end up like throwing a lot of food once you don't eat it too much. So I mean, it's like a pros and cons thing when it comes to stuff like that. You know what I mean?
So,
You
di
know,
pwede
after-
mag-stock ng food.
Yeah, you can't stock that much food. Like for us, it's like every other day we do groceries, and it kind of gets tiring, honestly.
That's why. Actually, like after you said like that, MSJ, the idea popped up like, Uncle Roger, be disappointed.
Yeah, it's just like you can't keep your favorite snacks sometimes, even though it's like limited time food. You know how you like put that in the fridge so you could like eat it on a good day. You can't even do that here sometimes, and it makes me sad.
Are there a lot of foods with MSG in it there?
MSG?
though you're
Oh,
good-
we put
yeah.
MSG in everything.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's
Yes.
I love it. Ajinomoto, dude. Fantastic. Dude.
Right?
Uncle OJ very happy to hear that.
Put it in the fried rice. Dude, it's so good.
Yeah, so it's do you think who would win if we had a Japanese Filipino snacks comparison? Like do you know the segment or vids that of Lad Bible where they put artists of
Lad
different
Bible.
nationalities and then
Hmm.
they compare they give different snacks from different countries like to those artists, and then they let them say their verdict whether which snack they prefer. Do you know that?
Oh, I've heard of it. I think I've seen it in Facebook scrolling before, but I've seen people do like snack comparisons, stuff like that. So like, are you telling me to compare Japanese and Filipino snacks?
Like for
Dude,
you,
that's just like cutting
like-
me in half. Like there's always a half for me for each side. I can't really choose. You know, I feel like I'm betraying a side of myself if I do that. I
Sige
can't. I
pare,
can't.
Umaibo or
How about you,
Pachibar, pili ka
OJ,
po,
at
man.
Via? What-
Mochi or Omaibo or Skyflakes. I can't. I can't.
Yeah, it's alright. I mean, it's kind of interesting. I mean, I know for a fact that there are both snacks has their ups and downs for
Mm.
each and every one, but I still want to generally know. How about you, OJ at Via? What's in your opinion? What is which one has a better snacks?
I think, ikaw na muna, Coach.
Wait, in general, like because of the sheer amount of kinds that they have, like in terms of flavor.
In general,
I
what,
prefer-
which do you
If you want to
prefer?
have like a bit of like variety or craziness in your life, go for Japanese snacks because they have like
Yeah.
all kinds of. It's pretty nuts like, how much kinds of snacks you guys have. There's even like, as you said from before, the curry flavored snacks. They have a ton of those. Even on sweet things, like there was gum. I remember one time. Yeah, like gummies, the curry flavored gummies.
Oh my god.
which is weird, but yeah, it sounds fun. Might as well. You also have like the hundreds of kinds of cup noodles there.
Oh
Instant
yeah,
noodles.
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also the
It's-
beer, but we don't talk about that one yet.
How about you, Via?
Yeah.
I think that would be very hard to answer because like since napansin ko na Japanese food has different like taste or like culture from Filipino food, so I think it's
Mm.
in the end you can't really compare that kasi parang it's like comparing two different genres. Yung parang sa
True.
Yeah.
patuloy yung sa previous episode na yung previous episode ng TNK, since it was about romance or rom-com anime versus yung shonen na anime. So nung kino-compare, we were like, those are two different things. So it's not really a competition. So ganun din yung sa Ganun din sa tingin ko sa food.
I mean, I could answer that one. Rom-coms for sure. I love romance.
Actually, we have discussed about that
Orimi,
last
Orimi.
episode, right?
yes.
It is right. It is last episode, right? Like the romance anime and
Yes.
stuff.
Mm.
So guys, watch that episode too. Watch that
If you
episode.
haven't watched it, then you should watch it.
I love the
Why are you
accent.
not watching these in order, huh? What are you doing?
Oh god, it's so weird.
You casual.
So, I think I think we have to mention another thing regarding the Japanese cuisine is the cup noodles.
Of
Yes.
course.
Like
yes,
You gotta
smash-
love cup noodles.
like the origin
UFO.
of cup noodles. like they
I
even,
love you.
Like they even have a museum of cup noodles.
Yeah.
Yes, they do. I've never been there, but I really want to go. Yeah, like
UST baka naman.
make cup noodles. They should make like a museum for like what college students eat while they're in USD. Just like a bunch of like cup noodles and stuff.
75% cup noodles. Or
Cup noodles and coffee.
mangtuts. And then jolly.
Anyways, like speaking of cup noodles, like there's a lot of selections. Like in every supermarket, there is always an aisle for cup noodles, like a full aisle of different flavors.
Grabe,
You could
full
get
aisles.
everything. Like I remember like trying to pick one out for lunch one time, like as in random. I picked this like tomato soup, tomato like ramen ones. It was surprisingly okay because I didn't think that it would taste good in like
tomato.
a pack because it's tomato. You'd think like miso or something, right? But it's like it actually tastes pretty good. That's so surprising to me.
My favorite one there is the cheese and pepper. I don't know why. Like if you know.
Yeah,
that,
like
if you know
even
that one.
listening to it sounds weird. Cheese and pepper. Like what? How do you put that in like a cup ramen? That's crazy.
Yeah, but they somehow do it though.
Yeah, they do it. Man, their R&D's crazy.
Like I remember the commercial of that. They were like the. Wait, if you remember the cheese.
Yeah.
The what?
Oh
Wait.
man.
Could you repeat that? I feel like I have watched that already, like a bit.
Like the
twice or
like
thrice.
the and then they kept wait. I'll send the link over. Wait, I remember. Wait, but it's a cup noodle commercial. It's seafood, but they have cheese and pepper, like as an addition. And then
so
there's these two mascots with the cheese, and then a guy shaped like a
I feel
pepper
like I know
shaker.
that. I feel like I know that. It's Japanese. Yeah, I feel like I have watched that already.
Man.
Is there like a street food version of yung noodles in general?
I mean, yakisoba is the one. That's the
Yakisoba.
one. I mean, it's basically like the pancit version of Japan.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's really nice. Like, you cook it in a pan, like with different kind of ingredients. Kind of the same like idea of like what a pancit is, right? But it's just like different noodles and different ingredients.
I think it's similar. I mean, okay. Philippines has many different kind of pancit. Pancit Malabon, pancit
Yeah.
hab-hab, pancit, what do you call this? Lomi. You know, the different, the pancit duglog. Philippines has a different has a wide variety of pancit.
Yeah.
I think it's entirely because of the Chinese influence, and at the same time,
Yeah.
Filipino hugs much of the culture of like in every birthday, long life, pancit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's true.
And speaking of that, Kuya Hendrick, do you have in Japan for superstition for in
About-
regards to food?
In regards to food, you have to speak to my grandma about that. I'm not too familiar with that kind of stuff, but they always talk about like proverbs and like stuff like that. But I never know. Like, I mean, there's one about like sticking your like chopsticks up.
Oh yeah, I know that.
Yeah,
It's also
like
in
what-
Chinese culture because if
Oh,
you stick the
really?
chopsticks, it's like for the dead yung pagkain
Yeah,
na
like-
yun.
Yeah, because like apparently it's like because there's a tradition for the funeral services in Japan where you
Yeah.
pick their bones with a chopstick, and that's sort of like indicating that it's the same thing if you do
Uh-huh.
that. So it's like, yeah, No go. No go. Always know where to place your chopsticks, fellas.
Yes.
Always
And-
know.
And
Eh,
na ako din pag sa funeral, if they want to give soft drinks, they would open the can. So like kapag iinumin ng kunwari yung janitor, wala na yung bubbles kasi nabuksan na eh. Because like yung parang explanation sabi sa akin is na if the dead person tries to drink it but it's closed, they can't open it and their mouth's going to bleed or something. So
That's crazy. That's a wild superstition. I did not
You just
imagine that from like a can of Coke or something.
imagine you're going to drink Coke. So modern. You're a ghost.
Wait, it makes sense if it's like one of the boys and you give them a cold one. You just leave one.
Just like have a fresh
Rest
one,
in-
boy.
You know, all-
rest in pepperoni.
You know, all the while you are all talking about what do you call this? Talking about the superstition, especially the funeral.
Yeah.
The image of
Hmm.
Gintama repeatedly appears in my head.
Yeah, the game, like
No, like Gintama himself.
Oh,
like,
Gintama.
The anime.
the anime.
Yeah, Gintama himself, like doing
I
some
remember
hilarious,
can you carry the
ridiculous
coffin and then they break their arms? Like, I remember that one and that one scene in Gintama. I freaking love that one so much.
Oh man.
Actually, wait, what else? You got anything else? My
Well,
God, how much like stuff about food can we talk about all at once?
I mean, I could
Jeez.
talk all day, man. I mean, but damn,
Alright.
I'm getting hungry. Holy.
Yeah.
I don't know if you all have noticed, but I've been sneaking food into my mouth.
Yeah, dude,
Oh,
I would
wait,
love
what
a
we been-
snack right now. A nagaraya.
I would like a nagaraya too. You wanna? Okay, I think we should just end it here. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like this
Okay.
has been a really good conversation about food, though. I've been loving it so far. So
And the fact that we
I know.
ended it with funeral services is a great.
It's a sign, man. It's a sign.
So, there we go.
putting the podcast to death. Is that what we're saying?
No.
Oh, no, let's not say that.
Oh,
Let's
no,
not
no,
say
no,
that.
no. We don't make this our last episode. No, we want to have more next year.
I'm kidding. I'm
Don't do
kidding.
this.
Season 2, season 35. Make it happen.
We want to have a
TNK.
tradition. We want to make it. Okay,
We
so
want to leave a legacy at some point, you know?
want to have a legacy. We can have Charles V and OJ and Hendrick, the first people in the podcast, and it just imagine we can become guests when we're old too. It's like
Yeah.
I remember.
Oh, I wanted to
I
experience
remember
that,
first-
man.
The first ever episode of
We did it in Zoom.
Charles, no, please, Charles, don't write the TNK podcast in your death note, like what you did with all those other anime that didn't get a season 2. Oh wait, in case you didn't get context, Hendrik, he put a bunch of anime recommendations on a death note, and one of those had No Game No Life, and we were wondering if that's why it doesn't have a season 2, and we're like, oh my god,
Oh
what did you do?
no.
Oh no, I would never do it at the NK. Come on, I won't.
Oh my lord. Wait, I just noticed what Michiko said in chat. I remember when I went to Japan, our tour guide said that there shouldn't be a single grain of rice in the bowl or your ice will get smushed. Jesus.
Oh my
What is that?
God.
Another
Is that a threat or a tour guide?
It seems like
Imagine he has
Sounds like a
the
death
delinquent
game.
outfit with the blonde hair and the bat.
My lord. That's scary, dude.
All right. So as we are going through our nearing end of our
Yeah.
last episode, I guess it's fine to. I guess it's fine to jump onto the question and answer portion of the
Yes.
given survey that we have.
Woo.
Oh yeah,
So, guys,
as far as our
who-
questions.
who wants
So-
to answer? Who wants to
The
ask
OJ
and
one.
answer first? All right.
So we got a question from I don't know. Wait. So we got 2 Anons and then an Austin. Ooh, an
Yeah.
Austin.
In Austin.
And Austin, is it like
Austin.
Steam Cold? What do you call this? Stone Cold Stunner Austin.
Yes, we're talking about we're talking about Stone Cold Steve Austin, guys. He came by anyway. So his question was, when I visited Osaka back in 2019, my family bought about 3 big taiyaki with different bean fillings. We can only eat
Ooh.
one and had to throw the rest away after putting it
Aw.
off for so long. When is the best time to eat taiyaki?
Oh.
Now.
The moment you buy it,
Now.
the moment you buy it, you eat it.
Yeah, I guess this is like the moment where the Hendrix says about the
The food expirations.
yeah, the food expiration.
Big
Yeah.
big warning to anybody who's trying to get snacks from Japan. Eat it the moment
Yeah,
you get it
yeah.
to the person that you want to give it to. Eat it
I
or
had
it will rot.
these wasabi like peanuts, and they
Mm.
expire. We just got them, brought it back home, and they expire in the next week. What the? And we were like imagine like speed running wasabi peanuts. That's like the worst thing
no,
ever.
no. That's
Actually,
terrible.
Now that you mention it, now I'm wondering what happened to that snap shipment that I was telling a while ago. I mean,
Maybe it expired on the way
Diba?
there.
Oh,
You had to bring it back.
You were not able. You bought that months ago, and then the moment it came to you, it's like, oh, I can't eat any of this. This is all expired. Give me back my money.
No. So sad, so sad.
It's very. It feels bad like when you order something and it comes expired or broken. You can't.
Yeah.
Can you send back expired food? Is that a thing?
I don't think that works. You just make it fertilizer at that point, man.
Even if it is possible to return, it would be much of a hassle because it took months before it came
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
you, and then you just have to give it back.
Yep.
It
Back.
will probably be a much hassle in some point. So going
more
Oh my god,
questions?
my
Yes.
takeout's here.
All right, so going for the second question.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Hi! Ano po ang pinagkaiba ng local version ng Japanese street food, especially takoyaki and yung Japanese cake ng UST Dapitan sa actual Japanese street food? So, as we have discussed at takoyaki a while ago, I
Yeah.
think we have not. I mean, we have mentioned Japanese Japanese cake, but we have not mentioned really the difference. Do you think, Kuya Hendrik, despite you having not much,
We put Oreos in our Japanese cake here in USD.
yeah, actually
put
put
Oreos.
ham, cheese,
Ham,
and
it's kind of. The difference is the filling.
That's
Besides,
true. That's
there's
true.
no difference. I think.
That's true. That's true. And what was the other one? Takoyaki.
yeah.
takoyaki.
There is no taco in Filipino takoyaki. It's just
Sometimes,
yaki.
most of the time.
most of the time. Most of the
Actually, that one time there's one stall in Pinoval that actually had taco, like they legit.
Ooh, Wow.
Which I was shocked about. I was like, okay, I'm gonna keep ordering here from now on. Let's
Yes,
go.
go to Pinaval then. That's a recommendation for everyone. Right here.
Pinoval.
Yes.
Yeah, actually,
Takoyaki with
Dapitan,
actual taco.
yes.
some
I wonder
has
if
a
some people
baby
actually
octo.
like, yeah. Oh, yeah, the baby octopi.
Baby octo. It's way more expensive.
Oh my.
I wonder like
Right.
if people like, if people actually like are when they taste a real takoyaki and they go like, what's this? I wonder. It's like,
Oo nga eh.
Blasphemy. Blasphemy.
It would be like if, for example, taga-USD ka, and then you go to Japan, and then you specifically look for yung Japanese cake, and you're like, where is it? Where's
Yeah, where's the
real-
Oreo? Where's the Oreos? Where's the cabbage inside the takoyaki? Oh my god.
they're looking for the.
Just to be clear,
Oh, Lord.
yeah, right. I mean, y'all can hear me clearly, right? Just to,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine going to a taiyaki stall and asking for Oreos in.
Do you have Oreo flavor?
You got
Quaking
Oreos?
sa Japan.
Tapos akala nila, Amerikano yung nagtatanong.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Any more
Alright.
Okay.
questions?
Yes,
Third
we have
question.
one question. I
Yes.
go Atavia.
Also from Anon. How true is the supposed etiquette when dining in Japan, such as slurping loudly and no tips for staff?
That is absolutely true. You should not do you should slurp your noodles if you want to compliment the chef. It is a sign of respect that you do love the ramen that you are eating. And tipping, they will refuse to tip if you try to tip them, because it is in the Japanese culture that your employer is supposed to take care of you.
Oh.
So like when it comes to financing stuff, so they might misread it as a disrespectful thing, but maybe nowadays people understand that more now that there's more US culture around the world.
Yeah.
But yeah, most of the time you don't
yeah.
tip people.
Well, that's kind of interesting, and it's also good that the employers themselves are like
largely
Yeah,
responsible for
I think
the
service
money.
charge thing.
Yes.
yeah,
Thing.
providing. Yeah, that's a thing. Yeah.
That doesn't apply to. Never mind. I shouldn't mention anything about Kabukicho anymore. Let's not go there. They got lots of tips there. You know?
Oh Lord.
Actually, I remember a scene from Love is War, Kaguya-sama Love is War,
Yeah.
where Chika eats a ramen.
Ah,
ramen.
yes, I remember that
And
episode
then
where
she
she
puts
eats like a whole ramen inside her spoon.
Yeah, and like,
Like-
there and there's like a garlic where she.
Yeah, there's a lot of that stuff. I recommend putting, if you are a Filipino going to Japan and if you ever eat ramen, put vinegar in it. You'll love it.
Yeah. Of
But
course
vinegar
you will.
ramen.
ramen.
You ever-
It's also interesting.
Like when you
Yeah,
order
they-
a bowl of ramen, do you ever finish the soup? Like, can you?
Oh no, God
Yes.
no. I will pee like crazy.
You gotta cleanse it, you know. You gotta cleanse it.
Cleanse the
God.
system.
Cleanse the system with ramen stuff.
At least it's healthy at some point.
Mhm.
Is it healthy?
Special tip. Special tip.
Yes.
Special
Vinegar
tip.
is fantastic.
All right. Now that we don't have any more questions.
So yeah,
Last
to
word,
recap what we
Kyoukai.
just talked about. we
Sure,
talked about
Please do,
most-
OJ.
What did we talk about most of the time? It's mostly just street food and
Yes,
talking about
Japanese food.
how good vinegar is on everything and curry is on everything.
Yeah.
Like,
Yung parang differences ng Filipino street food sa Japanese
Yeah.
street food.
Yeah, and
Lot-
actually, we
surprising
have,
a lot of sweet stuff too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and we also
Yeah.
mentioned the comparison between the two cultures and food itself. So
Yeah. Very interesting. I love the conversations you guys here. I'm very much having fun here, everybody. Thank you.
do you have any what do you call this, reminders for our viewers?
Yeah.
to,
You got a plug. You got a plug.
You got a plug?
you gotta
Hey,
plug
guys,
something to see your channels now. Okay.
Check me out for my photography. It's at Gliocam on Instagram. And also for my shoutcasting and streaming as a VTuber. You could see me at Virtual Fetchy on Twitter. Thank you.
Oh, drop that. I'm gonna get
There we
that,
go.
I'ma get that.
So here we go. So this is our guest Hendrick Gliocam,
Yay.
our VP internal or internal VP. Sorry, VP internal. What is that? And this is that's a wrap for Into the Torii Gate. Oh my God, this is our last ever. Man, it's kind of.
Alright, so
See you guys
Oh, for the
next
year.
year.
What do you
year.
feel? What do you feel about, guys? I mean, these last two episodes. Oh,
okay.
for me, it's been like what do you call this? It's been a good adventure for this
Yeah.
last few
Yeah.
episodes. We learned new things, definitely. So right, I mean, especially this third episode about the food and stuff, together with the help of our guest, Kuya Hendrick.
Hi. Well, one thing to say as your VP internal, I love that you guys are doing a lot of this online production stuff. It was honestly pretty difficult when I was the president of this org during that time, and I'm glad JP got to follow his dream of creating this podcast for the org, because I know he was pushing it for a while now, and I'm just very proud of all of you guys. You guys are doing so fantastic, and I really hope TNK flourishes in the next couple of years. You guys are amazing.
Yes, we also have to mention all the PAs, the media, the graphics team, to all the production of this podcast. We have to thank you so
Gotta
much
thank
for
him.
your effort.
We gotta thank him.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you guys for your
Specifically, Ella. Let's go. Ella, let's
information.
go.
For
She's like the
director.
Maylene. She's like the Maylene of this podcast.
Yeah, we gotta thank everybody. So shout out to all the production, to the whole production team of this podcast, and you guys as well. Kuya OJ, Kuya Ate Via.
Yeah, you guys are doing good work.
Charles, let's go.
Let's go.
Next year.
Oh
Next
gosh.
graduate
Let's
na
have-
ako.
Well, no worry, we'll have you as a
Oh,
guest.
No,
Alumni
no, yes, I guess.
episode. Alumni episode.
Alumni
Alumni.
episode, yes. Yes.
So, yeah. So, guys, we hope you enjoyed for this last 3 episodes, and we hope that you will still watch for our possibly season 2 podcast.
Season
Who
2.
knows? Season 2.
Maybe.
Well, yeah. So
Yes.
uh, tune in, wait for it, and enjoy Japanese culture. Okay, OJ, you have the floor, I guess.
So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed our podcast, even though we've been together for like I don't know, just 3 episodes. I hope our podcasters enjoyed it as well. I hope our guest definitely enjoyed himself.
Yes, definitely. So,
And there we go. So again, I am OJ from Marketing Management.
and I am Charles from Behavioral Science. Come on, guys.
And I am Victoria from Behavioral Science.
And this is
Into the Torii Gate.
Into the Torii Game.
the Thomasian Nihon Kyoukai podcast.
Bye guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
See you next year, hopefully.
Hopefully.